Hi, I'm Allison.
Hi, I'm Justin.
And you're listening to the Otterly Owlsome podcast. Who knows what we'll talk about?
Well, welcome back, Allison.
Welcome back.
It's the Otterly Owlsome podcast, episode number 51.
Oh.
What?
I can't remember if we were on 50 or 51.
50? Well, I had to go look. I think we recorded more than 50, but they're so old now. I think they're like pre-knowledge that I was just like, yeah, we can't really post that. So I just backed it up to like, okay, what's the last thing that published was episode 50.
I love that.
So officially in the back half of the 100. Welcome back. Where you been?
Well, since we last recorded, let's see, I've moved back to Oklahoma.
Wow.
Yeah. Sold our house in South Carolina. Still got the condo. So, still got that.
Got a beach refuge still?
Yes, we have our beach refuge since we're now landlocked. No. That's about it. Not much there. What about you?
That's a big change, yeah. I actually, I went independent. I'm freelancing now, yeah. So I'm no longer tied to any partner or company. And I've been, I went independent right before a hurricane came and destroyed where I live. So that was interesting, but all that's mostly behind us now. We're just waiting on water. We have water. We can take showers and stuff. We just can't drink it. So,
as a reminder, since it's been so long, where do you live?
I live in Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah. Yep. Asheville's still here. It's just there's a lot of destruction here and outside of Asheville. It was pretty traumatic for us and the community. So
It still is.
Yeah, it's still ongoing. Yeah. FEMA's still here. So.
And as a freelancer, I will be swooping up some of your time if others don't first.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Yeah, I've never contracted before, but it kind of gives me a sense of freedom, allows me to do more of the content like this, the podcast, and kind of set my own direction and work on things that I find exciting. And so, like, if Allison comes along with, I'm trying to think of something really horrible, financial planning and SPM, I can be like, nope, that's not for me. So, yeah.
That's fair.
What would be the worst thing you could work on in ServiceNow?
Ooh. Anything security.
You don't like security?
It's boring. And I think had I started it earlier, I might be okay with it because I feel like I probably could do a decent job. Every time I've attempted to learn it, I've just been like, this is snoozeville. I'm not enjoying this at all. But there was a man in our CMA program who he made it exciting to where I almost was like, oh, like he works for ServiceNow, but he like broke things down in a way that I was like, that's way more fun. Like I have fun when I do work and there's not a lot of ways to make security fun.
That's like financial for me.
Exactly. Yeah. That would probably be my next one is just finance. I Google percentages. Don't tell my boss. But I'll be like, what's 80% of 100% of X?
And do you trust the answer every time?
I tried a couple times. And then I actually found an online calculator that I do trust. And I think I made myself Excel formulas now, so I don't have to Google it anymore. I can just plug it in.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So you have a spreadsheet of like a math helper?
Yes.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Or is it just, I haven't done math since 5th grade? Is that when you do percentages?
I think, yeah, somewhere around middle school, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually like math, so I can't empathize there. So.
I liked math back then. It's just, you don't use it, you lose it. And
yeah.
I know. Which is how I feel about ServiceNow some days.
Well, are you sick of hearing about AI in ServiceNow yet?
I am. And AI scares me a little bit still. Just when you see like people using it in malicious ways. So let me rephrase it. It scares me when people are doing it to try and trick people or are being malicious, because there are a lot of people that don't do their own research.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's I wasn't planning on talking about this, but misinformation. I'm sure people have heard of the word disinformation. I never really was impacted by it because I don't, like, if I see nonsense, I just don't click on it. I don't read it. But during the hurricane, all we had for a good week was the radio. And I don't normally listen to the radio, but we found our radios, and that's how we were getting updates. And people were calling in with misinformation to the only source that we had for information. And I was like, and when I figured it out, the misinformation happened. I'm not going to repeat it. It was one evening, and then it was cleared up by the county government the next morning. But it was like, that was the first time where I was like, oh, that just happened to me. Yeah. And I've never experienced that before. And it was also like, why do this right now? Like, why during, like, when everybody's trying to come together and we're trying to make things better, like, what would be the purpose of doing that right now?
Yeah. Because people are malicious.
Yeah, that's what I'm learning.
That's my fear of AI. It's not, like, I think it's a good tool. I use it. Lots of people use it. It's just when they push an agenda or just trick people. And, that bothers me more than anything.
I have been trying to find ways to use it to accelerate my work. Efficiency, yeah. Not Doge efficiency.
Exactly.
The Department of Government Efficiency or something like that. But, like, with the Xanadu release, I don't know if you and I have talked about this. There were all the features that were released from the documentation site. What I wanted to do was categorize those. Is it a new feature? Is it a change? Is it AI related? Because ServiceNow has been saying, like, this is the most AI stuff we've released in a release. And so I was like, well, I've got the data. How can I do that? And it's like, do I really want to go through like 1,000 plus features and read them? So I wrote an integration to OpenAI and farmed it out. And it cranked through and categorized them all for me. So I was able to put my categories together. So stuff like that.
Yeah, I love.
And even then, I don't trust it. Even then, I'm like, you got it wrong here, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it, like, when I write something, sometimes I'll be like, okay, I feel like this could be cleaned up a little bit. And I'll be like, can you help me, like, rewrite it? Stuff like that. Like, it's still my words, but it cleans it up a little bit, which is nice. So... yeah. And we were at World Forum last week, and it was, every sign was AI. Yeah. Every single sign. So, but more customers are talking about it and, like, buying it. Which...
yeah, the Bill McDermott, the CEO of ServiceNow, if people didn't know who he was, okay, so this is funny. Allison and I went to Knowledge 2024. Last week, I finally saw the keynote. Because I clicked on it and I put it on in the background as I was doing. I think as I was prepping an SSH episode, and he was kind of like and I'm paraphrasing. You can go back and watch it. He was like, if you don't do the AI, you're gonna get left behind. And I thought that was a really compelling argument. I don't know that expense wise if it's still a good fit for everybody yet, but I know they're working on that. So
yeah, and the bigger companies, I think they fully see it. It's just the ones that just don't have the money. Yeah. It's...
well, they gave the example in the keynote of a bakery. Yeah. And if you're like a, bakery for the East Coast of the United States, it makes sense. But if you're just a mom and pop down the street, ServiceNow's AI offerings aren't going to help them.
Probably ServiceNow isn't feasible either. But a non-AI thing at World Forum, we were talking to a customer that, I won't say their name, but they do sports in Canada. And I had gone to a Maple Leafs game that, like, Tuesday night, because I'd never been to an NHL. Right? Yes, that's hockey. Okay. I'd never been to an NHL game. So my brilliant self, they play in the same place that the basketball team plays. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder how long it takes to melt the ice, and, like, then bring it back out and refreeze it. Like, I know nothing about this. I am not a basketball player or a hockey player. And so I'm talking to the guy and he's like, well, we don't actually. We pull out this thick padding and it goes over the ice. And then we put the court on top. And I was like, I'm in my head, like, moisture, like all these things, like how does it not get through and how does it not start melting because you've now got stuff on top of ice. And he's like telling me all the ins and outs and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So then they've been on service now, not forever, but for a little bit. And he was saying that Canon, like the camera company, came in and were like, well, you know, is there anything else we could do for you? Doing one of their other projects. And he said their court guy was like, well, if you knew of a way for me to not be off by 1 inch by the time I finish putting the court together, that would be awesome. Because he was like, if I'm even off by 1 inch, I lose 1 seat. And I know you're not a sports balls person, but that 1 seat's like $4,000 because it's like on the court, you know?
Oh, okay.
It's 1 inch. Canon developed something that the guy who said it, he was like, look, I don't even want like credit, you can go resell it. This is my problem. And apparently Canon developed this thing where from the roof, I don't know the logistics, but from the top, they're able to like laser out the dimensions. And then there was like an RFID in each corner piece to tell you like where it's at. And I'm just sitting here like, totally like talking to this guy about something not ServiceNow related. And he's just like, you're just like, so, I was like, I'm fascinated by all, like, this is fascinating to me that like a 1 inch problem was that big of a deal, you know? Because he was like, our options were we forego the seat or we rip it out and start over.
Yikes.
And I'm just like, if you told me you were going to rip out this entire basketball floor for 1 inch, I would probably quit my job.
Now, is the basketball floor like really like wood, like slices of wood laid down?
I don't know if it's like individual slats, but it is pieces. And if literally he was like, we start at the, like, if it's the, you know, rectangle going this way, they start up here and just work their way down. And I literally was just fascinated by the whole thing and how, like, I guess that's now how people do the floors in the NBA. But still, it being on ice, I was just like, how is there not like issues?
Slippery issues, yeah, like
or the wood being damaged from moisture, like so many things. But how they solved that problem, I thought was very cool. Because I'm just imagining like these lasers coming down, you know, like map. And he was like, yeah, it maps out the whole floor, and it's got like the little RFID thingies in it. And I'm just like, he was like, and the pucks have RFID in them. And the players' jerseys have them, like for hockey.
Right.
Because they map like where they go on the ice and use it for like stats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or for like
stats or training or what.
Training, yeah.
But it was just like, it was very fascinating because I've never worked in any of those industries. And honestly, I've never been to a professional hockey game. And so it's very interesting.
That is very interesting. It actually reminds me of something I do know about in sports. So before the Olympics, you know, I'm a fan of swimming. They have the swimming trials, like Olympic trials. This year, 2024, they did it in the Indianapolis Colts Stadium. So it's a football stadium, and they have a time lapse of them building the pool and the platform and the seating. And I bet you they're probably using something similar because you get that off, you know, or not square or something. That's a huge impact. But they literally show like these people just going around like building it all and then filling it up. And then it's just amazing what people can do.
I literally sat there. I was like, I'm just always impressed by how smart people are. Like how someone went and built that, you know, like the mechanism to allow this person to make their job more efficient. And I'm like, there was no AI. There was just someone's brain, you know.
Thought of some solution. That's another thing I use AI for, though, is ideas. Like, I don't know why I said it that way. Ideas. When I'm stuck right?
Right.
Or when I'm like, I need ideas for something, I'll just say generate. What's a good one I did? I had a pallet of wood, not
Mhm.
of wood, a pallet made of wood, and I'm like, give me 20 ideas of what I could do with this and not throw it away, and it did. It gave me 20, and I've been using it. So
You're clearly not a white female on Pinterest. Because I could have sent you a page.
I prefer Etsy.
I do love Etsy. Etsy gets me in trouble though.
That's my new nighttime routine now. I just find a category and I just scroll and scroll. It's better than the politics and the news.
That's true. I have not watched much news.
Yeah, me neither. I can't.
In about 2 weeks.
Yeah. I unsubscribed from it all, and I'm just going to bury myself in my
you got bigger things where you live to worry about than that.
Yeah, like drinkable water.
Yeah, like not boiling your water.
Oh, during the hurricane, I got a drone. So, this is going to...
I watched one of the videos, maybe.
Oh, of me, like, actually...
Yeah.
I think I might have sent that to you. Yeah, I might have sent it. I haven't published it yet.
Yeah.
So...
Spoiler.
No, it's good. It's building anticipation.
Yeah.
I ordered it before the hurricane came, and when the hurricane came and went, it shut off all like access to the mountains, so like east and west, because of landslides and rock slides and flooding and all that. So we weren't getting any shipments of any kind, and basically they just held the drone. I think it was in Greensboro, which is like in the center of the state, until the roads opened up, and then like 3 weeks later we started getting deliveries and stuff again. But it came, and the reason I sent you that video is it's like a personal drone, and I literally...
How big is it?
What's that?
How big is it?
It fits in the palm of my hand, and so I was running, and I got to the lake, and this is what I sent to Allison. I stop, I pull it out of my hydration pack. That's how small it is. You put it in your hand, you turn it on, and then you push a button for the mode, and the mode's called Follow Me. It takes off from your hand, and then I just start running, and it follows me. Now, there's another setting I haven't played with yet called direction tracking, but it's basically the same thing, but it'll be in front of me, and it'll try to anticipate what direction I'm going, and then just sit there and stay 3 feet away from me, which I think is cool.
That is pretty cool.
So yeah,
I didn't realize it was that small. Like when you sent me the video, I was like, "This is awesome," but I didn't realize it was like...
It's basically as big as my hand.
Still, like that's...
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's really neat. It's called a DJI Neo, Neo, if anybody's wanting to look that up. Mm-hmm. I'd highly recommend it. And in fact, before Trump gets in office, you might want to purchase them because they come from China. If you're able to purchase it after that, or it's really, really expensive, so you might want to get it now. Just a small plug for DJI. I'm a big DJI fan. If you want to sponsor, I'm available.
You will try out all the products.
I will try them all, yes.
If you want to see if a commoner can figure them out, you can send them to me.
There you go. You'd be able to figure this one out.
Okay. It was that easy. Dexter really wants a drone, and I'm like, one, you're 6, because he's 6 now. Oh, that happened.
I know it.
And he turned 6.
He's such a ham for the camera.
He is. I don't know if I told you this, but we were cuddling on his birthday because he lives to cuddle, which I'm going to use until he
doesn't want to anymore.
It's like the night after his birthday, and we're like sitting on the couch. He was like, "Mommy, when I turn 20, we can't have Mommy Dexter cuddles anymore." And I was like, 20? Like 20 years old? He goes, "I think it will be time for us to not cuddle like we do now." I was like, I know. I'm just 20. And I go, "David, did you hear that? 20. I still get to cuddle with my kid."
19 years of cuddling.
And he goes, "David, I think it'll be time. I think I'll have a house by then." I was like, "Oh, sweetie." You'll maybe be in college or trade school or finding your path at that point. I don't know if a house will be quite.
So you're making the case he could still be cuddled?
Yeah. I'm just like, you're probably, either going to be in college, trade school, unless he becomes like a YouTuber or something. I don't know. That seems to be the path these days, for kids his age. And I was just like, so when you turn like 13 and I want cuddles and you tell me no, he was like, I would never do that, mommy. And I was like, okay, can we press record on something?
Yeah. He hasn't met a hormone yet.
I was gonna say, I was like, by the time he's like 9, he's probably gonna be like, get off me. But yeah, it was so cute because I was like 20. He goes, I just think it'll be time.
What's funny too, that's probably so long away for him, like in his mind.
I know, it's like
it's only 14 years.
And I'm like, he's already 6. I feel like he was just born.
I feel like he was tiny and he's already grown up.
I know.
He's a big 6-year-old though.
He is. He's
not fat, but like
he's tall. I mean, his projected height is 6'2". But my whole family's tall. I mean, I know people don't know I'm tall. I'm 5'9". My dad's 6'1". My uncle was 6'4". My grandpa was 6'2". Like, my brother's the short one in the family. Like, but they say, like, if you take your age at, like, 2 or 3 and double it, like, that's how tall you'll be.
So he's 3 feet?
Oh, yeah.
1 inch.
He is 40... How many inches is
Make me do math.
Well, 48 is 4 foot. Because I can do that math. And he's, like, 47 inches already.
Oh, he's almost 4 feet?
Yeah, he's tall. I think that's right. Or maybe he's 42 inches. I don't know. I never measure him. I only know how much he weighs.
Still tall for a 6-year-old.
Yes, he's the tallest one in his class by like a mile. His closest cousin lives, 10 minutes away and they're almost the same height, and he's 7. So he's tall. I mean, he's 100th percentile in everything because he's already like 57, 58 pounds. Because he's not fat. He's just tall.
Yeah, I don't get a fat sense from him.
Yeah. So.
Baby fat, but not.
No, I mean, but he's lean, I guess.
He's lean and mean. He's going to make me money in the sports.
And he does a ninja gymnastics class that we call ninjastics.
Oh, that's cool.
And he loves it.
Does he still get Zen before?
Not as much. It's like American Ninja Warrior, but like in a gym, like a gymnastics gym.
Yeah.
So
it's safe if they fall. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's not going to fall down and hurt himself. And when we left the first class, he was like, Mommy, I'm a real ninja now. And I was like, okay, great. But we're going to keep coming to get better at being a ninja because practice makes permanent. So we're going to just keep trying it out.
Is he learning parkour as part of that?
So I love my child, but he can't stay on his feet to save his life. Like he just so he got a kite for his birthday. This kid loves kites. Great. Because he just runs, So he was running in the backyard and he fell down. And I was like, why do you keep falling? He's like, I just got tired.
Does he have big feet that he's not going into yet?
No, he just won't stay on his feet. And when I asked him about it over the weekend, he literally goes, I just got tired. So I fell down. He's a flopper, so he might have a big career in soccer, Well,
then basketball too. Are they like, oh, like I got
mostly. I don't watch basketball because I think I don't get it. Like I played soccer. Like
the ball goes in the hoop.
That's all I know. But like when they call certain fouls, I'm like, what did they do? Like I don't get it. Because once again, I played soccer. You could practically break someone's leg, and it's like rub some dirt on it. But men's soccer, they're floppers, and they just like roll around, and then they hop right up, and you're like, come on.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That's like TikTok material, seeing someone roll around and hop up.
It is. I mean, but if you Google soccer flops, you'll get lots of them. And then they'll all be men.
That's weird. So the women don't flop.
There's a couple, but not like the men's games. Like, you'll see women with like blood just like running off their face and they don't care. The men's like, someone looked at them funny and they fall down on the ground. So, I don't know.
Well, I've heard, I don't know this for true, that women's pain threshold is higher than men's.
Probably.
Maybe childbirth,
Yeah.
Sets the bar a little higher.
Yeah, and we deal with, monthly pain, so. Yeah. Those are my other favorite TikToks, is watching men be hooked up to the simulators.
There's a simulator?
Yeah. And they're like, you just sit here with this happening to you and deal with it.
It's a good lesson in, like, you never know what other people are going through.
Literally. Yeah.
So we're back. We're back
Yay.
with episode number 51. We're going to try to be more regular again. So welcome back to us. And hopefully you guys come back to watch or listen.
And Justin's available for contract.
Yeah, if you guys need any work done. I probably won't sign anything until the new year, but make me want to sign. That's what I tell you. I'll challenge you. So.
I can make you one.
Make it compelling and interesting enough to do that. But any closing thoughts or final words?
I'm just glad we're back.
Cool.
Even though you and I have talked the whole time.
Yeah, we've been chatting and texting. And she was checking on me and making sure I was okay, of course. So thank you for that. All right, but we'll see you guys on the next episode, number 52. All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.